as a youth empowerment specialist, what I am going to be doing this afternoon. And I'm very happy when I find youths, because youths have a lot of energy. They only need an enabling environment, and they will be able to drive the economy. Clap for yourselves. So, the theme for today, which I will base on a training that I did at Addis Ababa a few weeks ago, is youth skills for success in life. Youth skills for success in life. The God's plan. Youth skills for success in life. The God's plan. God has a plan for you. And God knew you even before you were born. I would like to appreciate the first speaker. She touched on issues that affect the life of the youth that are very pertinent, very important, very key. And it is my hope and belief that you took notes, and even the scriptures that you are given to go and read. They are very, very important in your life. I would like us to start by reading the very first scripture about God's plan for the youth. And we start by reading Jeremiah 29. Let's have one of our youths to read for us. As a teacher, I will involve you in whatever we will be going through. Yeah? For example, reading of the scriptures and other activities we are going to carry out. We will do them. We will participate. Jeremiah 29, let's read 11 to 14. Who is going to read? I think you can give that person the microphone. Somebody to assist, please. You are going to read? Yes. Get the microphone. You have another one, please. And even at the back, be ready to read a number of scriptures. So ensure you have the Bible with you. At the back, be very keen, be attentive. Chapter 29, that is Jeremiah 29, 11 to 14. Just read.
Okay. 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare, not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and I will restore your fortunes and gather you from all the nations and all the places where I have driven you, declares the Lord, and I will bring you back to the place from which I sent you into exile."
Thank you. I have the plan for you. Do you have a plan for yourself as a youth? Do you have a plan for yourself? Yes? How many have a strategic plan? A plan for yourself, your own life? Who has a plan? Very good. Most of us. That is good. Great. Now, you have a lot of work to do. And the work that you have is that God has a plan for you. You also have a plan for yourself. You must pray day and night, maombi, day and night, so that you ensure that the plan you have is in tandem with the perfect plan of God. The plan that God has for you, that plan for a good future. God has a good plan for you. So as a youth, how many years have you said that you are going to live? This is an awkward question, But you should tell God in that plan that I plan to live for 120 years. Genesis 6:3. What does it say? Genesis 6:3. Because you need to put these in your plans. When you plan, if you are going to live for 120 years, some say that you are that the years for the Lord are 70. But you have seen many people living even over 100 years, or you have not seen them. My father lived for 103 years. And me, I'm living for more than 120 years. And I have already gone halfway, you see. Now I'm just 50% of the time. I will have more. And that is the plan I have. And I have told God. Yeah? So my work is only to ensure that plan is in tandem with God's perfect plan. Okay? So, 6:3, Genesis, you can just read that one first.
Genesis 6:3 says, Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for his days shall be 120 years.
His days shall be 120 years. It is in the Bible. I'm not the one who have written. It is the Lord. So, you can abide your plan with the Lord's plan, and you live many years. For you to live many years, you have then to adhere to the God's plan, and no one else. Not the people, not Satan, not anyone else. The Lord. That is very important if you are to succeed. Now, do you know yourself? Do you know yourself? Do you have a place where you can just draw? I would like that you draw yourself. If you know yourself, can you draw yourself? Everybody at the back, draw yourself somewhere. If you have somewhere where you can write. If you don't have a full scarf, you'll get one. It's important that you draw yourself. Let's see, what do you think about yourself? And what are you going to tell God? That I would like to live for 120 years. Doing what? What will you be doing? Because you have to qualify why you should live. Yeah? You must qualify why you should live for those number of years. What will you be doing? Where are we? Are we drawing? I can see some people, they are doing nothing. At the back, what's happening? Ensure that you are doing something. And that something is drawing yourself, your perception about who you are. How do you perceive in your mind? Who are you? Who are you? Yeah? If you are in the university, pursuing a course, how do you perceive yourself? If you are in the college, you are pursuing a course, How do you perceive yourself? Yeah? Who are you? You are in secondary school. Who are you? Eh? Look at yourself. Why would others pass and you are not passing? Why? Who are you? There are things I don't believe in, that you can fail an exam. That one I don't. Yeah? And I have never failed any. Yeah? Yes. If you ask me for my transcript, you'll see A throughout. Why not you? Because you have the capacity. Yeah? You have the capacity. You have the capacity to become what you want to become. Have you drawn yourselves? I'm waiting to see what you have drawn. Yeah? I'm waiting to see what you have drawn now. And I want to come nearer. Yeah? What have you drawn? Yes? Yes. God has a plan for you. Who are you? Tell us by drawing. Who are you? Just draw and tell us. God has a plan for me, and this is who I am. Just show us now from what you have just drawn. Yes? What have you drawn? You are only drawing. And you see, the current curriculum that you are following, CBC, has fine art. So a number of us will be drawing. Hey, there are people, can you draw? Here, when you are in my class, you must be active. All of you, 100%. And any class I have trained, I always achieve 100% pass. So, I'm checking on you. So if you are here, you have to do something. That is not negotiable. When you are here, do something. Draw yourself. The instructions are very easy. Draw yourself. You are not able. How are you going to tell God what you want and you don't know yourself? Draw yourself. Can you draw yourself? Draw. Even those who are officials, draw yourself. Just draw yourself. Okay. Let's draw ourselves. Very interesting. Draw a big one so that the others can see. Draw a big one. Yes? Draw a big one so that the others can see. You see, one thing you have realized is that it is very difficult to define yourself. Have you known that? Because you have even tried to draw, you are unable. Yes? Some of you have been asking, where is this God who has a plan for me so that I can see him? See, that is what you ask. Yes? Can you look at your neighbor very well? Scan your neighbor now. Scan your neighbor. There is something you are going to tell us about your neighbor. Yeah? What the Lord did to come up with you, he drew himself. That's why I was telling you to draw yourself. And that image is what was used to create you. So when you want to see God, look at your neighbor. You look at who? He created a human being using his own image. So, if you want to please God and you are living on earth, you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? And that way, you will be able to link, to align your plan with that of the Lord. Because you are serving him. When you serve your neighbor, you are serving God. Don't wait to see the God at the door so that you serve him. Look at those people who are suffering. Serve them. Those people belong to the Lord. Yeah? When you do that, then your plan will be aligned with that of the Lord. The Lord will speak to you. That is what I am saying. But for the Lord to speak to you, you must first of all align yourself with his guidelines. See, he has given you guidelines. Where are his guidelines? Where are the Lord's guidelines? They are in the Bible. They are in the Bible. They are in the Bible. So, you must get saved. Yeah? And not just getting saved. And doing what? And what else? And? I'm not hearing anything. When you get saved, what next? We have very many people who are saved. Very many. But they don't know God. Yeah? They are there. You get saved, then what? I'm not hearing. What are you saying? You get saved, then? Yes? Obey the Lord's commandments. Those are the guidelines. He has given us the way we are supposed to live. And they are very well defined. Later on, you'll see them. I want us to ask ourselves one question. There are very many verses in the Bible that talk about the God's plan for life, about our success, and for us to succeed, we must work hard. So in life, there are skills that we need to acquire. That's number one. You acquire, practice, and then implement. 3 things. Yeah? So in life, there are 3 important things. And not the 3 things that you have been hearing with the politicians. No. There are 3 things that you must. Number 1, you acquire life skills. When you acquire them, like now, you are going to acquire. You are in a seminar. That's why you are here. You'll acquire those skills, knowledge. Then you are supposed to practice. Practice means you start using them. And then you implement them in your life. You do what? You implement. Let's start with how you are going to implement them. Before I enumerate what are these life skills. How do you implement them? This is the way you are going to implement them. When you acquire them here, you are in the, how many are in colleges? Universities and colleges. How many are in the universities and colleges? In a university, in a college. Yes, we have quite a number. How many are in secondary schools? How many have completed? Those who have completed universities, they are out there, they are self-employed or they are employees. How many are employees? How many are out of school? Out of school? Yeah, I can see. That's better. Okay. Now, let's start with those who are in secondary school. The first thing, now those who are in secondary school, exams are almost over. So now, the next exam that is coming is in December. So those who are Form 4, they are finished. Others are still doing exams. So let's focus on those who are Form 4, Form 3. Is there Form 2? Yeah, there will be Form 2, but no Form 1. They will be in JSS. So Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. What is your focus? You tell God the score that you want to get. Okay? Then we said you have now acquired. There is something that you have told God that you want to pass the exam by. Be specific. You get A or get A minus if that is what you can project. It depends on what you feel. Depending with your own capacity. Assess yourself. Although you are unable to draw yourself, please assess yourself and your capacity and say, me, I'll pass with a B+. Tell God. How do you practice? You practice by now asking yourself, what is it that I'm supposed to do to get the B+? Pray for it. Maobi. Then, action. Implementation. Action. When you go to school, you are a changed person. You are working towards your A. You are working towards your A minus. You are working towards your B+. So on a day-to-day basis, there is work that you'll be doing. Exercises. You'll be mathematics on Monday, English on Tuesday, Wednesday there is this. You will have a program that is now implementation. And you will have time to play so that you ensure even what you are studying, it is what will come in the exam. So that you don't go to the Abadeas and the exam will come in Mount Kenya. Yeah? You see now, you will be very far from what will come in that exam. But if you want to ensure that you are walking with God, that is ensuring that that plan is in tandem with his perfect plan. That's an example. For those who are in colleges and universities, the first question is, you will graduate. What is graduation? Graduation. Yes? Is it the gown? The what? That is the literal meaning, is the gown, the ceremony. That is a graduation ceremony. Conferment of degrees. All that. But is that graduation? You are supposed to move out of that university and graduate or transition. You must transition. If there is no transitioning, there is no graduation. You transition into employment, whether it is paid or self-employment, whether you are going to be an employee or an employer. There are very many jobs in this country, very many. Even now I was looking for people to pick tea. They are not there. Because the perception that we have with our people is that in picking tea, I'm not able to make money. But if you are pursuing human resources management at the University, You are supposed to go to that place where we are farming tea and manage the workers. When you manage them, you will be able to pick tea for 20 farmers within a week and make more than 50,000 for your own. Because you have that capacity to manage human resources. We have very many people who need to be managed. You have gone to the university. You have the skill to manage them. Can you use it for production? That is graduation. If you can move out, go and manage those people, and you have now graduated. You'll be saying, I graduated from the Kimathi University with a degree in human resources management, and you are using it. But when you go home, you failed because you did not graduate. So according to me, and look at yourself that way, if you are at home, you have not graduated. Hey, those in colleges. So what are you supposed to do right now? Before graduation, put yourself in an innovation lab. Put yourself where? And get this, you need to write this. Put yourself in an innovation what? Do you know what is an innovation lab? It's a laboratory. Like when you go for chemistry, you go to a lab. You mix things and end up with a product. So here, you are going to jog your mind in that laboratory. You need a facilitator. Yeah? One of these days, we are going to organize one, pastor. We organize an innovation lab for those graduating from universities and colleges. Yeah, so that you see how it is done. But you jog your mind for a period of about 3 days and come up with an idea that is going to make use of the skills you have acquired in the university or in the college. Yeah? Or whichever college you are in, even if it is a vocational training center, VTC, there, you have skills that you are acquiring there. Those skills you acquire, how are you going to use them when you graduate? You come up with a plan. And then you pitch that plan to potential financiers. A good example is when I facilitated an innovation lab in Nairobi for the Horn of Africa. What happened? The students who are graduates from Nairobi University, and they are doing that work even now, they came up with an idea of cleaning Nairobi estates. They picked a number of estates where they will be collecting garbage and then they will be recycling that waste. They have a recycling plant in Dadora, and they will collect all the garbage, then they will sort the garbage, depending with the ones that can be recycled, the others they were taking it to the dumping site, and they were able to come up with an idea that was sponsored by Equity Bank. And they went into business upon graduation. And they are doing that business even now and expanding. Others have joined. Others have replicated that into other places. Other students, they have come out, they are replicating. That's why you see private lorries collecting garbage in Nairobi. And it can even be done here in Nyeri. People are suffering with where to take garbage. You people are there. You can do it and you'll make money. Why? That person where you collect garbage, you will pay a monthly rate of 200 shillings. If you have 200 and you have 100,000 homes where you collect garbage, you can see the amount you'll be collecting per month. Yeah? So, food for thought. We'll do that. That is something that we can do another day. But the important thing is to note that scholars. There are a number of scholars, and I want to start with Disney, Walt Disney. Walt Disney, he did mention that happiness is an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. And don't assign anyone else that much power over your life. Don't assign, this one is key. Don't assign anyone else that much power over your life. The Lord has given you a lot of power and authority to control your life. Don't give it to others. What will make you not delegate that power to others? It is by acquiring the following life skills. Number one, the first one that you'll be looking at is yourself, your own image, what we call positive self-concept. Self-concept. Your own self-image, self-esteem, self-awareness. Do you know yourself? That's where we started. The second one that you look at, so that I can adhere to the time given, is what we call self-control. For you to be able to achieve anything in life, you have to control yourself, and this is key. You have to abide by God's commandments, because the only time you can adhere to those commandments is when you control yourself, not allowing others to control you. If others control you, and I am sure you have gone through this, I listened to our first speaker, Mrs. Bishop went through it very well. You need to really control yourself. The other one, and this is also key, is that you need to socialize. And socializing, remember we brought self-control first, then we tell you socialize, social. So you need to have some social skills. If you look at those skills, there is one that is very important that you really need to adopt. The two that are remaining, in total there are 5. The two that are remaining are the ones that support the first 3, and one is communication. Is there anything you can do without communicating in life? Even getting saved, you must communicate and say Jesus is Lord. If you don't, you will not get saved. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes, there has to be communication. Even when you go to a hotel you want to eat, if you don't communicate and say this is the type of food that I would like to eat, you will go hungry and die there. You must communicate. Communication is a day-to-day thing. It's what we are using now. We are communicating. Don't forget today, technology has evolved. It is the fastest changing macro environment. Technology. Today we have AI. many people are familiar with AI? AI. Anybody familiar with AI? Yes, we have 1, 2, 3. We have some people very familiar with the AI. You know AI today can write a report for you. Are you aware? Those? Yes. The computer will write a report for you. Yeah? Artificial intelligence. So, and there are people making a lot of money now using AI. Yeah? You can learn about AI online. You are told to learn some of these courses online. They are there and they are free. Learn them so that you can also use them. You only need to feed what kind of a report do you want. You feed there, this is the kind of report that is needed. So, that is telling you that if you wanted to be employed to write a report, you will not get that employment. AI is there to do it. So, what are you supposed to do? Then acquire skills that will ensure that you use your hands to go and do the work. Because that work is still there. Communication, therefore, is key. 5, and the last and the most important, and the one that our Gen Zs, maybe they don't like, is that you must think, higher order thinking. This is not negotiable. Those at the back, if you are not able to see, maybe you are not able to visualize, you listen. I'm talking about them, Then you write somewhere, higher order thinking. And if there is something, if there is a question, please ask as we move on. Let's start with the very first one. And again, we'll look at the Bible about the positive self-concept. There are 3 very important aspects of success. Important aspects of success. One is your own physical and emotional health. If you are not able to control your emotions, you are not able to address a lot of issues that will face you. And therefore, you may not be able to succeed. And this is an area that was covered very well this morning. So, I really appreciate that. But the issue of teamwork is very key, and the issue of commitment. All that is about you. About you. You need a skill, social skills, to form teams. You need your own self-image, your own self-esteem for commitment. And these are key. Therefore, let's ask ourselves now, what about positive self-concept? What is it? What is positive self-concept? Yeah? Anybody? You know, when you don't talk to a teacher, the teacher stops talking. So if you want me to continue talking, you talk. If you don't, I keep quiet. Do you want me to keep quiet? Yes, no? Hey, what is happening with these people? You don't talk. Or you know, your eyes can be open, but you are asleep. Okay. Yes, there is somebody here. Use the mic. Positive self-concept.
So a positive self-concept is having the I can do anything mindset.
Yes?
So to me, positive self-concept is having the I can do anything
You can.
mindset.
Yes. You perceive yourself that whatever faces you, you can handle it. That is very key to all our youths. It's very key to any human being. Remember, those who are saved, you are with God. And with God, everything is possible. You should be positive. And the Lord tells you that whatever you pray for, believe that you are given and receive it. That is Mark 11:24. Eh? Whatever you pray for, believe. You should have faith that you have already received. So the A I was talking about, can you first of all have faith? You already have the A even before you get it. And then receive it. Mark 11:24, you can read. It is going to lead you to that. And that is very important, to be positive about yourself. Self-image. Positive self-concept. Your own self-image. Your own self-awareness. Are you aware about the skills, the talents that you already have, which you can use positively to create wealth, to make money? Those who are in business, be positive that you can do it. Those who are in employment, yeah, be positive that soon you are going to be promoted. Those who don't have food, you are not placing food on the table. Can you be positive that tomorrow you will place food on the table? Look at yourself and tell God, I am worth to put food on the table. Provide employment. Go for it. Employment is there. Don't ever, at any one time, say that there is no employment. Huh? Sio wewe unapeana kazi. It comes from the Lord. So why are you saying hakuna kazi? Ati that is your song. Hakuna kazi. Why? Where? Sema wewe hauna. And tell God. Usiambie watu wengine hawatakusaidia. The others have. It's like the people who just go around saying there is no money. There is nothing like that. What is money? This one you are saying there is no money. Sema wewe huna pesa. Watu wanajenga magorofa na wewe unaendelea kusema there is no money. Kwako. Have a positive self-concept. Even you can do it. Are you the only one who has to fail? Na Mungu anakuambia there is nothing like failing in him. And his promises are yes and amen. And he told you he has a plan for a good future for you. So align yourself with that perfect plan. Self-esteem, your own feelings of self-worth. That even me, I'm worthy to drive a good car. If you are worthy to drive a good car, which is true, can you work towards that? Have a dream and work towards it. And be positive. You know, because of time, let me continue. I was to give you a story of how poor I was when I was a small boy. But it's good to know an important thing, that as a small boy, I educated myself all through. Yeah? I educated myself. So some of you may start wondering how. But my grandfather passed on when we were sleeping with him. And he had told my grandmother, when I die, all these cows, he had 4 cows, which I used to. I was in standard 3 by then. Walking barefoot with a big shirt. There were no shorts that time. So unafaa kichati kiku. You know, some of you don't know that history when we were not wearing those shorts that you are wearing. So just a big what? Big shirt, and then you go to school. So what happened? I had to graze the cows, milk and sell milk, and had money for paying fees so that I go to school. That is how I bought the first shoe when I was going to Meru Technical Secondary School. It was a national school then, the current Meru National Polytechnic. That is where I schooled for 4 years. So, and you can do anything. That's what I'm telling you. If you have a positive self-concept that everything is going to work, yeah, everything is going to work. And with God, all things are possible. You should be positive. You have seen young people killing themselves. This is what they are lacking. They don't think that they are worth anything. Please, this is a very important skill in life. That always you have that self-esteem, self-worth, that you have the self-confidence, that you have a positive outlook about yourself. That positive outlook. You know, that you need to look at the world realistically. Yeah? Look at the world from a realistic perspective. Yeah? And you can work. And don't look at yourself like you can only work in Kenya. You can even work anywhere in the whole world. We have jobs all over the world. The whole world belongs to the Lord, whom you are talking about now. God owns the whole world. And that is the God you are talking to. So, don't just look at Kenya and see there are no jobs. If you are in school, as you are told, you can even go to university outside Kenya. You don't have to study here at the university. Move. It's important. That will enhance your self-determination, your self-responsibility. You will have a better self-image about yourself. When you are told to draw yourself, you will be able to draw very fast. Today you are unable, but that is our homework now. Keep on asking yourself, if I'm told to draw myself, what will I draw? You need to keep on asking yourself, what will you draw? So that when that person who is interviewing you, there was a time we were interviewing examiners last year, and then I gave them that question. I told them, okay, you have come, you want to be an examiner. Can you draw yourself? Who are you? Yeah? There is something we were looking for in as far as examinations are concerned. But it is important to know yourself. That's what we are saying, and what you are worth. Positive self-concept. The second one, self-control. Self-control. Now, before I move to self-control, can we read Ephesians 2:10? Somebody to read? Hey, the one next now, you can read. Take the mic. Read Ephesians 2:10. That's still about self-control. It's about positive self-concept. Ephesians 2, verse 10. Ephesians 2 verse 10. Just please read just that verse.
Ephesians 2 verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them.
Have everybody heard? Yeah? You are created to do what? Good work? Hey, are we not saying it? You are created to do what? Good work? Good work. So, if you are doing bad work, God did not create you to do those bad things. Eh? God created you to do good work. And in the positive self-concept, this one, if you value yourself, then those things that are bad for your body, you cannot take them because you have a value for yourself. Because when you are drunkard, you behave. You don't control yourself. We are moving to self-control. When you take drugs, you don't control yourself. You are out of your mind. And therefore, the things you do, you cannot do them when your mind is alert. So you must make sure that you as a youth, as a woman, or as a man, you must remain sober. And that is what the Lord requires. That always you must have self-awareness, who you are. That is what I wanted to add. And then now, in what we call self-control, we need to ask ourselves these questions. If you are or if you see some people doing something, don't join them just for the sake of it. You need to ask yourself, why would you join them? Because self-control is to do things in accordance with your own plan. Don't do things that you never planned. When you attend other people's weddings that you are not invited, you are just wasting time. You are idle. Because you are not required there, you have gone there, now you are going to eat people's food. It doesn't belong to you. Eh? Be careful. Ensure that all your time you have planned for it. The first self-control tool is a timetable, a diary. This time I'll be here. This other time, ensure you have no idle time. Now, listen to this. This is from research. The difference between the richest person and the poorest person in the world is in their use of time, nothing else. It doesn't matter whether you came from a very poor background like I did, or you came from a very rich background, it doesn't matter. That's not an issue. The difference between the richest and the poorest person in this world is in their use of time. Munasikiliza. And therefore, the most important tool for self-control is your timetable. Time management is very key in self-control. so that you not attend other people's weddings when you are not invited, because that day you will be busy elsewhere and doing something else. Yeah? You will not be asking who has a function which you can attend because of your idleness. No. You will not be visiting people's homes when you are not wanted. Yeah? Because you are idle. No. Self-control is key in your life. And at the tool, ensure you have a diary that make use of your time. Use it. And I have told you very important research that was done by Knowles in the year 1961, who also came up with the principles of adult learning. He came up with the principles that adults use for learning. And at the same time, he researched on the use of time. And he found out that 90% of the people in the world, they misuse time. There is a lot of idle time, and especially in Africa. The most productive people are in Japan, who are able to use about 12 hours as productive time. In Kenya, maybe 2 hours on average, productive time. 2 out of 24. People don't even sleep. Sleeping time, you may find they are only sleeping for 4 hours. All the other time is idle time. You better even sleep so that you wake up fresh the following day. Yeah? So, let's be careful. Let's control ourselves. Don't just talk from in the evening until it is midnight, you have not slept. When are you going to work the following day? In Nairobi, the waking up time is 3 a.m. in the morning. So you go there, they sleep at 7. 7 they are sleeping. So that by 3 they wake up. Yeah, they go to work. Here, you find yourself that 3 is when you are sleeping. Whatever you are chatting is not something to help you. It is talking about other people. Don't worry about other people. These people will live there, they will be there, they belong to God. They don't belong to you. So why are you talking about them? You are not the owner. So, don't waste time talking about others. When you go, those in school, don't talk about the others unless you're asking them to assist you in something. Why would you be talking about them and wasting time instead of studying? And you went to school to study. Come out with a clean A. Come out with a first class. Because that is the first person who will get a job. Be there, be the first. Why not? So, self-control. Concentrate on what is useful, what is important, and please ensure that you have a diary. A diary is key in self-control. It is important, therefore, to develop what we call internal locus of control. This is key. Internal. Locus of control. Happiness comes from you. That's what Walt said. Happiness. It is from you. It is you. You have to control yourself. Otherwise, when you start rumamongering, other people will come asking you, why are you talking about this? You will not have happiness. Avoid it. Don't talk about others. Talk about what work you can do to take your children to the best school available. Yeah? That is what I did when I was employed by the government at Kimathi. Yeah? I negotiated so that I can have a free time to be able to do something else. I went and became an insurance agent at the same time, so that my kids can go to Good Shepherd Academy. The salary we were getting from government could not take a child to Good Shepherd. This one. All my kids went to Good Shepherd. That time when it was starting, we started with the school. Now, I don't know whether you are listening. Eh? That is what we call internal locus of control. That you are focusing on working extra hours, so that you can make ends meet. It was not easy. You need to look for that extra coin. You improve your standard of living. You take care of the children that God has given you, because it is your responsibility. It is not your responsibility to be taking drugs. No. It is not. That is not yours. But it is your responsibility to improve your standard of living. It is your responsibility to dress nicely. It is your responsibility to work for the Lord. And you need resources. So you must work very hard. God's people must work hard. And the Bible tells you that. In this issue of internal locus of control, if you want to succeed in business, there are those who are out of school. When I was training business people in Nairobi on behalf of, by then it was Barclays Bank. Barclays. They had some people. They were sponsoring. Mrs. Bishop is here. She can attest to that. She was working with Barclays then. There were some business people whom they sponsored to go to China. You remember that time? Yes. In Nairobi, I was training them on how to improve their businesses. And one of the concepts we came up with is this issue of self-control. Self-control. And why self-control? So that you don't go out, you see what others are doing, then you do it. You don't have the skill that the other person has. So don't see that your neighbor is in saloon, then you keep saloon. Your neighbor has serious, then you say, I can keep serious. No, that is not business. I told you, the idea is this: innovate, create, innovate, create. We are coming to it. It is the last, higher order thinking. Think about what you can do, the talent you have, what God has for you. Because God has good things for all of us. So don't go copying others. If you look at yourselves, the whole world with about 80 billion people, there is nobody who looks like the other. Have you ever thought about that? Nobody looks like the other. Even those others who are being born now, they don't look like you. And those who will come even 10 years, they are different. So why do you want to copy others what they are doing, instead of coming up with your own? Control yourself and come up with a unique business idea. Implement it, you'll make money. We need to also go through. That is an area that is also key, and especially for those who are out of school, they need to know how to do business planning from a practical perspective. That's something I also train business people in. But it's good to have self-control. On self-control, can we read Galatians? This is a book I like so much. The scripture. Galatians. Ability to manage impulses and resist temptation. You should resist temptation. That is key in self-control. In order to achieve a goal. When you set a goal, can you please achieve it? Can you be, those who succeed, who control themselves, they have one important characteristic, which I want you to develop, and it's going to, you'll hear it in this, in Galatians. You can read before I talk about it. Galatians 5:22 to 24. Galatians 5:22 to 24.
Verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. 23. Gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law.
The last one is what?
Self-control.
Self-control. It is what we are talking about. And you are told, against such there is no? There is no law. Eh? So, and note, the fruit. Is there S? There is no S. Please note that. It is very key. It says the fruit. The fruit of the Spirit. The fruit. Fruit ni moja. The way you have shugwa moja of the Spirit. Ni hizi. And there are 9 of them. How many are they? 9. Self-control is the last. These ones, go and read. Ask yourself, one question is this. Why is not fruits? It is fruit. Meaning, if one of it is not there, you are not going to enjoy that fruit. If one of it is not there. So it is telling you a lot, especially in terms of allowing the Holy Spirit to guide you. So even when, walk in wisdom. And it is there also in Ephesians. Walk in wisdom. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. So that you don't go copying others. Don't go copying others. And you'll be able to control yourself very well. There is one important thing that I want to mention you. You must control your destiny. Hey, control your what? Destiny. That is the most important thing I would like to leave with you. Control your destiny. If you want to become a very successful man or woman, control your destiny. And you are going to make it. And you are going, stop complaining. If you have a problem, tell God. And move, act, work. Because complaining will not help you. But I would like to tell you, do not allow others to control your destiny. Don't. The only people you need to associate with are those people who will be your destiny connectors, taking you to the next level, that they will assist you to move and reach your destiny. Those are the people you should associate with. But if you find people who are not performing, it's like being in school. You want an A, This fella is getting E, and that is the person who is your greatest friend. What are you doing there? You are wasting your time. So if you are saved, what are you doing with those who are not saved? You can only be preaching to them. That is what you should be doing. Eh? That reminds me, I need some people who can preach thoroughly to people in Gadima. So those who are soldiers, who can fight, what is there? There are demons there. So those who can be able to fight them and cast them out, those are the ones I need. But if they come, I can also train them to do it in 2-3 days. And then they will have accomplished the task. But what I am telling you, please, have an internal locus of control. Have a very high self-esteem, and you are going to succeed. Communication. I am leaving social skills, but I will come back to it. But I want to look at communication. James 1:19, let's read that. Communication. Communication is very key, but we have misused communication. Like the chatting we do, the what you need, we have misused communication. Remember, I wish there was, next time we'll be making a presentation. If you could see it, you would have seen a very interesting picture that I have on communication. Yeah? How the communication process works, and if we had time, we would have practiced communication here. And you see how it comes out. But time is running out. Let's read James 1:19. Sorry. Just read verse 19.
James 1 verse 19. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Can you repeat? Please listen. Sikiliza. This is very important. It's communication. You are called brethren. Read again.
Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Slow to speak and slow to anger. That's about communication. Don't rush your tongue. Because what has come out, you cannot return it. Eh? If you have said it, you have said it. And there are some words that should not come out of you. You are prohibited by God. Yeah? For example, I told you to look at your neighbor, and you have seen the image of God. Then, can you imagine that image of God abusing him or her and calling him dog? Is it fair? Is it fair? In the eyes of the Lord? Is it fair? In the eyes of the Lord? This fellow was created in the image of God. Then you are abusing him. It is abusing God directly. That is why you are told, be slow to speak. Take time. Don't get angry. Otherwise, you will not succeed. If you are going to get angry every now and then, people are there saying funny things. Some are even drunkards. Some are drug addicts. They will abuse you. If you abuse them, we will not know who is drunk. Eh? We will not know the difference between you and them. So why would you bother? You need to protect yourself. And that word is key. James 1 what? 19. That verse 19. Be, can you read it again?
Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger.
Yes, slow to anger. Eh? Be here. spend more time listening, than the time you spend in speaking. So your communication, there are words that are prohibited by God, that they should not come out of your mouth. Remember, once it has come out of your mouth, it is a problem. So be keen with communication. And it is emphasized also in even in the Old Testament. We can look at Proverbs 15:1. Even in the Old Testament. Proverbs 15:1, what does it say?
Verse 1.
Yes.
A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Read it again so that you hear. Those at the back, listen.
A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
A harsh word stirs up anger. Why do you want people to get angry about you? So, communication is very important. What you are talking about is key. The mode of communication is key. Remember, the way you treat your parents. Respect for parents is the only commandment with a promise. Respect for what? Parents. When a parent talks to you and you refuse to answer, are you respecting that person? So, if you have a plan and you want to connect that plan with the road, you cannot connect it and you are not respecting your parent. And the promise is that you live so that it may be well with you. And then you live two things. For it to be well with you, it means even when you, those who are single, it will be well with you when you get a good person to marry. It is well with you. You get a good job, it will be well with you. That is the Lord who will connect you with a good person, with a good job. You see, respect for your parents. But when your parents now, communication. Your parents call you, you don't answer. Ate huyu mzazi ana shida akinisubua. Si ndio mnasema unafinya simu ama inalia. Ndio? Let that communication assist you to reach your destiny. Because of the way you communicate. You respect your parents. The promise is that it will be well with you and that you live for more years. That's a promise. And when you adhere to God's commandments, and everybody listen to this one, it's very important. How many promises that we have in the Bible? Promises of God. How many are they? Do you know the number? Promises. There is a number. Go counting them now. That will make you read the Bible. Counting them. But they are in thousands. So if you are talking of hundreds, that is not true. They are in thousands. Okay? Now I have given you another assignment as young people. But the power and authority to pull down those promises so that they are manifested in you. So that they are manifested in you depends on how you relate with God. And for you to have a close relationship with God, you must adhere to his commandments. That one, it is either you adhere or you don't. Sio ile ya kamugu moja hapa ikengine hapa. Hapana, it doesn't work like that. Munasikia hiyo? it is not 95% and you have a 5% that is. No. It is 100% adherence to the commandments. So, and the communication here is key. Because wherever you pass, wherever you go, wherever you are, there are people with very sweet words which you want to hear. But those are words to destroy you. Be careful. You must be very keen. If you adhere to the Lord's commands, you will be able to discern between what is right and what is wrong. Yeah? And there is something in Romans 12, very key. Romans 12, because you are in that age. And Mrs. Bishop talked about it. I want now to take you to Romans 12. Let's start from verse 9. It's just more of this communication. Romans 12.
Romans 12, verse 9.
Read 9, 10, 11, 12. You can, by the way, when you go, we'll only read 9 to 11, but when you go, read up to 16. It's very key for you. Yes.
Verse 9. Let love be genuine.
Let love be genuine. Higher.
How
Go
about
ahead.
what is evil?
Abhor. Abhor what is evil. Abhor. Refuse what is evil.
Hold fast to what is good.
Hold fast what is good.
Love one another with brotherly affection.
With brotherly affection. With brotherly affection. Yes.
Outdo one another in showing honor.
You see, outdo one another in showing what? Honor. Outdo one another in sweeping this place. That is showing honor. Outdo one another in washing the facilities we have here. Outdo one another in doing God's work. Lash for it. And you'll see the way the Lord is going to bless you. But the first sentence said, I read it.
Let love be genuine.
Let love be genuine. I want to ask you a question. You are always talking about love is blind. Sidio mnaambiana. Unajua hii upendo sijui ilitoka wapi. Love is blind. Hey. Is that genuine? Si Biblia imesema. Let love be genuine. So when you talk about, that is communication. When you are communicating and saying love is bright, you are not genuine. Unaongea uongo. There is nothing like that. Unasikia? It is not there. Let it be genuine. Let it, if you are going to have relationships, let them develop and have that what we call brotherly sisterhood affection. See, it is, see your Bible imekwambia? Yes. That is part of life. Let's move to social skills. Very fast. Social skills. And let's read Philippians 2. This Philippians is a very interesting scripture about social skills, how you should socialize. Philippians 2, you can read 1 to 4, but let's read 4 only. When you go, read 1 to 4. But let's read verse 4 only, because of, in the interest of time.
Verse 4. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others.
That is very interesting. You don't just look at your own interests. Paul is telling Philippians, don't just look at your own interests, but even at the interest of the others. You already have fellow brethren, and socially therefore, you should treat them with brotherly love. They are your brothers and sisters. And even the relationships you are talking about, they are developed through that brotherly, that sisterhood kind of love. It is the one that develops and moves on now to seeing, okay, we are doing so many things together. We are serving God together. We are doing this other one together. Not on Facebook. Not those who say, you know, now I am very single and I need somebody. Then you start, and then you start chatting. Then you end up, you know, my own daughter, because she is the daughter to my sister. See, that is my daughter. Yeah. It's a daughter of my sister. She got married to somebody whom they met on Facebook. Now I'm giving you a real story. A wedding that I attended. I was there, attended as the father. In Nairobi, I attended at full gospel. Buruburu. Si mnajua full gospel of Buruburu? That is where we were. Very nice. We organized the wedding. Very nice. Then what happened? After they went for honeymoon. So in 3 days, they were not together. But this was a very big wedding. And I carried a very big present. Na nikapeana. So I was even asking, sasa, you are not together. Hata zile presents ulimpea, siko wapi? What? I'd imagine Bishop Diari huko Nairobi. So I'm just warning you. What happened is that these people are not compatible. They are not compatible at all. Huyu akona mambo yake, huyu mwingine akona yake. They are not compatible. Walimiti kwa Facebook, wakapaga wedding na wakawana. When they went for honeymoon, wakajua we are not what? So we cannot continue. And that is what happened. And even today, kila mtu ako single. But they were married in a wedding which I attended. Now huyo ni my own daughter. So I'm telling you, hiyo mambo ya Facebook, be careful. Be careful. So it is what we are talking about, communication, social skills. Let's be careful about it. Now, ebu repeat hiyo, wengine hawajasikia. At the back there. That corner. Ebu repeat hiyo, Philippians 2, verse 4.
Verse 4, let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others.
Yes, to the interest of others. If you see your sister is going astray, advise, counsel. You see your brother is doing the wrong thing, please, don't just think of your own interests. Those are social skills. Socialize with them, help them. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. That is what the Lord wants. And I want to move to the very last now. Higher order thinking. The very last, because time is running out. order thinking is very key. I want to spend some time in it. We have, I want us to read, first of all, 2 Timothy. We are also going to read 1 Timothy. 2 Timothy 2:7. 2 Timothy 2:7. Are you there? 2 Timothy 2:7. You can read.
Verse 7. Think over what I say, for the Lord will give you understanding in everything.
You hear what the Lord says? Think. Of what? Can you repeat it? Think of what I say.
Think over what I say.
Over. Think over what I say. For
the Lord will give you understanding in everything.
For the Lord will give you understanding in everything. Now, kila kitu umepewa na Mungu. Why do you bother doing the wrong things? That you think, the Lord is telling you,